Take a ball of flour paste, press and stretch to fill the blossom cavity. Use a scraper held at a low angle to skim away the excess paste. Keep pressure on the paste with your fingers while slicing with the scraper to stop it from being pushed out of the mould. Smooth the cut surface with the greased finger before turning the mould and removing the rest of the excess. Rub with your finger to smooth. Use the sharp point of a scriber to catch the paste at several points on your design to make sure it is not stuck in the cavity before lifting from the mould and setting aside to dry. If you create a break in the design as you trim away the excess paste, try pressing an extra piece firmly into the empty part of the cavity. Trim away as before so that the outline can be removed in the normal way. The point is gently inserted into the paste channels and lifted to make sure it is not stuck. Once removed, you should be unable to see where the break occurred. Try laying some dried coloured outlines on top of some rolled out Mexican or flour paste to make a plaque, or onto a freshly covered sugar pasted cake, and impress into the icing using a smoother. Once the outline has been embedded into the paste, if you wish, you can release from the waxed paper. You can then peel away the paste from around the outside edge or use a craft knife. This is an easy way to make an effective relief shape. Great for beginners and the kids. Also ideal for those who are a little short of time. The rosebud outline is made using 2 colours of paste. Press the pink into the petal channels and use green for the calyx. The colours should bond together, and this is enhanced by rubbing with your finger. The dried outlines can be used with great effect with piped icing. You can use royal icing to make suitable flooding consistency, or alternatively mix a little water into some flour paste. Place the icing into a piping bag and make a small hole in the end. You do not need to use a nozzle. The outline should be placed on a piece of waxed paper. Keep the point of the piping bag close to the paper and squeeze the bag as you move it back and forth so the icing floods one section. Use a damp paintbrush to make sure that the flooding reaches all the edges of the paste border. If the piping is uneven in any way, it can be coerced into place using the brush. By tapping the board with your finger, the icing will settle, giving an even surface. If you hold the bag high during this application, air could be trapped, causing collapse or cracking during the drying process. Leave filling the outer sections until the central part is dry. Fill in the outer petals and use the brush to smooth where necessary. Make sure that the flooding does not obliterate the darker paste outline. Once all the infill is completed, it may be helpful if you have access to a heat lamp, which will accelerate the drying process. The quicker the top surface dries, the less likely it is to crack or sink. Filling white outlines with pastel shades will not always give the best results. Instead, use stronger colours of flower paste to outline a paler infill. Use a soft bristle brush to apply powder colour to a white outline. Work the bristles back and forth on a piece of paper towel to make sure the colour which is added to the paste is not too intense. Try to add pigment to both the outside and inside edges. Complete by touching the leaves up with green powder colour. You could pipe or paint in yellow flower centres as required. The pale piped icing can be enhanced with powder colours. Make sure not to apply too much at one time So brush the paper towel first to reduce the strength of the powder applied. Shading will give the flowers depth, and fine detail can be added with either powder mixed with a little alcohol or liquid colour. Work from the centre with slightly deeper shades fading towards the outer edge. Make sure to use a very fine bristle brush. Too wide and splayed lines being added at this stage could spoil your design. Once dried, transfer onto the top of your cupcake.